One of the biggest questions I get asked on YouTube is, should we go on this holiday or that holiday? People want me to give the answers as to where they should be going. So should you go on a long haul trip or should you stay somewhere a little bit closer to home? We're going to address all of that in this video today, and the pros and cons on a financial level as well as the experiences. So if you're contemplating, like, do we do something different rather than go to an all-inclusive resort in Spain or Greece or Turkey or Tunisia, one of those places, should we venture further afield? So this is my take on it, and these are things that I would urge you to have a little think about and have a consider. Always leave comments below and let me know what you're thinking. Now, I can't answer the question. When people slot into my private messages and say, which that sounded like I minded it, I absolutely don't. I love it when people ask me questions, but they're like, where do you think I should go? And I'm like, well, what do you like? You know, it's a big question, isn't it? What do you like to do? Because if you really want to go, and I know a lot of you that come to this channel are somebody that works really, really hard, you want to go away and put your feet up and do not much for 2 weeks or whatever it is, be taken care of. Just walk to the restaurant, not even have to decide other than which restaurant you're going to eat in. Just go and get everything taken care of for you and just completely relax. Maybe a little dip in the sea. You might join in with a bit of aqua in the morning. And I totally get that. So for the first time last year, I went on it wasn't the first time I went on a long haul, but it was the first time I did something like this. Now, going on long haul to this side of the world that's like Southeast Asia area, there's a lot there to consider. So bear in mind, this isn't going to be a like-for-like comparison at all. If you're going to an all-inclusive resort in, let's say, Europe, just for argument's sake, you're going to pay X amount. And yeah, of course, that changes during the school holidays and stuff like that. But what you're going to pay for is going to include pretty much everything, isn't it? So you've got one ballpark figure and you know what you're going to get for that. So if you look up reviews and things, you're also going to know how good it is or not so. Now, when you are going long haul, it's going to be very difficult for you to get a ballpark figure. Let me give you an example. So flying Emirates, for example, you can track it on Skyscanner and see where's the best place to get your Emirates flight from. But then you go to book your seats and you've got to pay a little bit more. What they do is include you generous luggage allowance. Now that's something that I'm finding now with the all-inclusives. They aren't really all-inclusive. You will have to probably pay for some luggage, which can be quite expensive. It can certainly, if you pay them just for a seat, for example, say you're going to Turkey and the flight is £70, but you want to take a bag with you, it's probably going to be about another £70 on top of that. And then if you want to choose a seat allocation, that's going to be more money too. So all a bit, what's it, you know? So that's, yeah, tricky. When you go on these longer haul flights, if you've got a special need, now I've just found this out recently, so say if you're a wheelchair user and you can just about transfer, so the wheelchair needs to go on the plane, you're still now going to have to pay for a special seat, which I don't agree with, because if somebody needs a specific person sitting with them to help them, I don't think that should be something that should be discriminated against. But however, generally you're going to get a cost for the flight plus your cost for the seats, but you will have your luggage included normally. Then you're going to want to look at where you want to stay. It's going to take a lot of research. So where do you want to stay? How many nights are you going to be there? Just checking if my camera's working okay. How many nights you're going to stay there and what it's going to cost you. So these sort of Southeast Asia places can be about £20 a night. That's for a bed and breakfast in a really nice location. Obviously it's different for different places. Like if you go to Singapore, for example, it's a lot more expensive than say Bali or Thailand, but generally that's what you can look at getting. £20 a night for a hotel. It's not going to have all the entertainment and everything, so you're going to be going out and about. So then you're going to want taxi fares on top of that and entrances to places that you're going to want to venture to. But it is very so different. If you look at your pros and cons, what do you want to do? Do you want to go out and have an adventure? I mean, much as you can with the all-inclusives, you can do some trips. You can book those on as extras, and you can generally see the costs of those on the TUI website or wherever you're going to book. You generally, or use Get Your Guide. Get Your Guide is a really good way to find out what sort of things you can do. So say, for example, you're going to Marmaris. You can just type in there Marmaris in Get Your Guide, and it will give you all the options of things that you could do in Marmaris. So I think that's quite exciting. And it's a really good way of figuring out what you're going to spend, what you need to do, and if it's the sort of thing that you want to do. So there are pros and cons. I think you get more for your money going long haul. Give you an example. You could probably spend £2,000 and have between 2 and 3 weeks in Southeast Asia and live very comfortably. Sorry, I'm not going to edit this video, but I mean a little bit. I'm just trying to do less editing on the videos. So if you were getting on the plane, for example, you're going to get all your meals included. You're going to get a lot more than you're going to get. And you can add these things up to the nth degree if you want to. So if you're going to Greece, right, so we're back short haul, you're probably going to want to go get a meal deal at the airport. And time you've added that in, and then do you want a Wetherspoons breakfast, and do you want some beer there or whatever? Whereas if you're going long haul, you'll probably think, yeah, I don't really need anything. So we're going to get on the plane, and within an hour being in the sky, they're going to bring us around a nice meal. So you're not going to want that. So they're definitely pros and cons. And I think just be honest with yourself. What do you like to do? If you want to explore and do some hiking and stay in a hotel that isn't going to be something, you're just going to go there and sleep and freshen up and sort your things out, then great. But again, you need to bear in mind the weather. So some of these countries in Southeast Asia can have torrential downpours, and like Sharm el Sheikh, that never rains it there. There's been once or twice I've heard of a few raindrops here and there, but literally it's a few raindrops. So yeah, you're going to really want to think about all of that. So what would you consider? Help other people out in the comments. What would you consider the pros and cons for going short haul or long haul? Do you think that it's better to fly? Obviously, I'm just going to throw this in there as well quickly. Long haul flights will carry a danger if you've got some health conditions. Obviously, you're going to need to keep your body moving and stuff like that. So that might be another reason that you decide to opt for somewhere closer to home. 2-hour flight, 4-hour flight maybe. Even then, you still need to keep moving because of the cabin pressure and things. But yeah, so I think it really depends on what you like. It's very difficult for me to answer that question of where do you think I should go. But if you've got £2,000 to spend, you could get 2 weeks in a very nice all-inclusive in one of those locations we've spoken about. Or you could go to the other side of the world and do exactly the same, but it's going to be a lot more bitty. You're going to have to do lots of different costs rather than one big ballpark figure. So it so much depends on what it is that you like. For me, I think I really enjoyed the Thailand travel last year. I felt as though it was traveling, like rather than getting off a plane, getting on a coach, going to a hotel. Much as yes, you're in a different country, but it didn't feel like traveling. That felt more like you're sort of holiday, isn't it? It's just, whereas if you want to travel and experience some cultures and things in the world, but yeah, it's a very, very personal decision, I think, whether you go further afield or here. So tell me in the comments, where have you been? What did you like about it? And why would you go there again or not go there again? I'd be really interested to hear from you, and it will help out other people as well. So I'll look forward to hearing from you in the comments. I will do my best to reply as always. And thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it. If you do like this video and you think it's a good topic, if you do click on the thumb button, it will let YouTube know that they should show this to more people who are like you, who are looking for this sort of thing. So take care. Very, very sending you all of my love, and I will catch you really soon. All right, bye bye for now.